Good morning. This is Heather Hogan, and this is Promises Through the Pain. I hope that you are all doing well this morning. I want to talk to you about an interesting thing that happened last night before I went to bed. I belong to a Facebook group page. It's called Zebras for Zebras. And people who have chronic illnesses with a plethora of different symptoms that fall under an umbrella of other terms. We're called zebras because when a medical profession sees us walking through the door, you know, we may look like a horse, but we have all of these stripes, and the stripes represent all of the different things that we need to be treated for. And of course, we can be very difficult to treat, and doctors don't like necessarily the difficult. So anyways, it was late, and a member had posted about how she was just so tired of being in pain and day after day, not knowing if she could handle this life anymore and what this life has to give her and what it has to offer her. And she was just tired, very depressed. You can hear it in the words that she was typing. And I guess because for me, I've been there before. So there were about 10 comments in her post, and so I decided to look in there. And as I was reading, there were the majority of them were saying, you know, I understand how you feel. I feel the same way. A gentleman had posted that he was getting his things together. He was tying up loose ends, and he had his getaway bag with him, but basically he was saying that he was going to end his life. He didn't give specific dates, and that crushed me. That really got to me. And you know, mental illness is such a big deal. It's bigger now than it ever has been. The suicide rate in our world has just increased significantly because, you know, people are just, they're tired of feeling pain, physical pain, emotional pain, spiritual pain, and they just don't know how to handle it. So they feel that, well, if I just kill myself, the pain will go away. So immediately the Lord told me, you know, Heather, you know what you need to do. So of course I started writing. And, you know, being somebody that currently has chronic condition, you know, I feel that I can relate to these people, and telling them my story and letting them know that I was there once too, and I had it planned, and you know, but when you have a relationship with Jesus Christ, you suddenly understand that there is nothing in this world that you are going through that is really about you. It's not about you. It's not about your husband. It's not about your children. It's not about your family. It's about how we are living in this world that God gave us, that God created us for. But how do we represent Him in our life? How do we allow other people to see Him in our life? And the biggest way that you can show the love of Jesus Christ is when you are going through something very tragic, traumatizing, crippling, where it rocks you to the core. And because that's real. You know, happiness is a very small piece of your life, and you are not going to feel happy all the time. You're going to feel stressed, you're going to feel sad, you're going to feel angry, you're going to feel afraid. And you know, it is the fear that allows us to go to that place, that deep dark place, and allow the devil to try to tell us that we don't need to do it anymore, and that we can have a way out and just let it be done. But our Father in heaven has told us differently. He has told us that there is hope. There is hope in Him. Our peace and comfort comes from Him. And I mentioned in my post, to read the book of Job in the Bible, because there is no other chapter in the Bible that I could relate to the most than a man who had everything. He had a big, beautiful family. He had a lot of land. He had a lot of livestock. And back then, that was a significant sign of wealth. And Satan, let me backtrack a minute. There is nothing that we go through that doesn't pass through the hands of God first. So when the devil wants to mess with us, God still has the authority to approve it or to not approve it. Now that may sound really mean, but every day we're being tested of our faith. And with Job, Satan went to God and was like, how about this guy? I want to mess with him. And, he's not as faithful in his love for you as you think he is. And God said, all right, I'll let you mess with him, but you're not allowed to kill him. And so the devil literally killed his whole family, took away all of his worldly possessions, crippled him with significant illness, and day after day he suffered and suffered, and the devil tried to keep tormenting him so that he would kill himself. Finally, at the end of the chapter, God was like, okay, you're my good and faithful servant. And God replenished and restored everything in Job's life 100-fold, 10-fold, I guess is what the scripture says. So my encouragement to those people on the Zebra page was, even if we have to suffer until the day that we die, because it was God's will for us to die, we are not permitted to take our life into our own hand and kill ourselves. It's murder. And even before the 10 Commandments were given to Moses on the mountain, it was still law. Like, it was still unlawful to commit murder, and suicide is murder. And God created us, so we can't do that and expect to go to heaven and live eternity in heaven. That's not how it works. There are consequences to our sinful actions. And sorry for the noise. It's Daddy Shark cleaning the floor. This is real. I guess I should have turned him off. He gets caught up. Hold on a minute. Good grief. I guess I have to move. Sorry. Anyways, so I just want to say that it doesn't matter what it is that you might be going through. Life is not easy. We deal with hard things and death, but we also have a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be grateful for. And even when you're in your worst place, find a reason to glorify and to worship Him. He woke you up for a reason today. He woke you up because He knew that you have something to give to somebody else. He knows that you are precious, and that people love you whether you see it or not. You have worth whether you see it or not. And even if it's just sitting on your couch or laying in your bed because you absolutely cannot get up, know that He's there with you, and know that you still have meaning and purpose. You just need to reach out to Him, call out to Him, and ask Him to help you. Ask Him to come into your heart. Ask Him to be the Lord of your life so that you could live the best life that you can while you're here. Tomorrow is not promised. If we were to die today or tomorrow, or even 90 years from now, how did you live your life today so that it could honor and glorify Him. So, you know, I know when I did my introduction, I said that my post wouldn't be any longer than 2 to 3 minutes, but I mean, I'm a Hogan, so we talk. We talk and we write, and I can't help it. So thank you for tuning in. I pray that you're blessed. I pray that, you know, you have a great day and that you find peace in things that you're going through in life. And just know that people are out there praying for you. I will be praying for you. Have a blessed day. I'm Heather Hogan, and this is Promises Through the Pain. Please subscribe and like my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.